Hello, FWA TV. Welcome back. We are joining Milena in the studio here. They're representing our charity, the Lost and Found Youth of Atlanta. And we are going to interview them and kind of get to know what they're all about. I hope you're joining us in chat as well. We are bringing this to you live as we have been all weekend here on FWA TV. And so, first things first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you?
Great. Well, thank you so much for asking me to participate today. Love being able to share a story. My name is Milena Alvarez. I'm the executive director for Lost and Found Youth. We are a 15-year-old organization founded here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we are so pleased to be here and to be a part of the community. You know, FWA has been amazing. We've met so many people while we're here. How far back would you like me to go? Because we've got a history here. 15 years of helping young adults, 18 to 25, be able to find themselves, be able to establish, I'd say, a foundation for themselves. That's really what our mission is about, is to help youth that are experiencing homelessness, primarily the LGBTQIA community. And with that being said, I could probably describe to you in a very, I say short story with some fringe. How about that? Because
let's go.
Let's talk about our different components.
Go from the beginning. So how was it founded? Like, how did this charity come to be? What was the problem that needed solving here in Atlanta and the greater areas?
Great way to start. So 15 years ago, the organization started by a group of gay activists who they redundantly were seeing youth being ignored, being retaliated, being discarded, dismissed, disrespected. I mean, the list goes on, all the negativity. And with that, they said, we are determined. We are going to be out there. We're going to be advocating for these young adults. They deserve to have so much more than what they have right now. They've been ostracized. They've been, basically kicked out of their homes. Families who do not understand, what their personal feelings are, disregarded, who they love, who they feel like they are, unable to be their authentic self. So with this group, they said, one, we're going to reach out to the community. We're going to see what we can do to try to find, a reasonable housing arrangements, be able to provide employment or services or whatever it is. They just wanted to listen and figure out how they could serve this small group of individuals. Well, that group kept growing and growing and growing because now the word's out. Now there are people that are out there that are willing to help us.
And willing to listen.
And exactly. Listening is a big part of what we try to do initially. Instead of making assumptions that you think that you can fix everything, which is not the right approach, what you want to do is you want to say, please come in. This is a safe place. And when I say safe place, let me just kind of describe. We have a thrift store that's located on Chantilly Drive off of the Cheshire Bridge area in Brookhaven. So 2585 Chantilly Drive, Northeast. Our thrift store is actually our hub. And when I say hub, it's because we have administrative offices there. It's also a thrift store. It's a donation center. It's also where our youth drop-in center is.
Okay.
That youth drop-in center is something that we moved into that location 4 years ago, and it was the best move that we ever made. We have been kind of working, the organization has been fluctuating, and when I say fluctuating, I just mean like in terms of like moving, trying to figure out the best fit is for the community.
Right.
And so, once upon a time, we were actually in a church, if you can imagine.
Well, I assume with 15 years of growth, I mean,
we've been everywhere.
From probably a single tiny little, house or
That's right.
facility into, I'm assuming now, multiple locations or?
Well, yes, we have. So we have the thrift store where we provide drop-in services for the youth when they come in the door. Again, being a great listener, let's figure out what you need. Do you need a place to live temporarily? Do you need a job? Do you need some health services? Do you need clothing? Do you need food? maybe you're just passing by. Well, if you come to the drop-in center, you'll actually see that we have a case manager there. We do street outreach from that location. Street outreach puts us out in the streets of Atlanta where we're actually actively looking for youth that are in need. So we have backpacks, we are out there passing out literature to small businesses, bringing people in, right? So
it's a full support system. It is not just housing or not just providing items. It is a full support life cycle.
Right. So here you have a thrift store, street outreach, bring youth in, we listen, provide them services. Now we've listened and we're hearing what it is that you have to say. Now you need a place to stay. Well, guess what? We have a 90-day emergency housing program. That emergency housing program consists of 2 rental properties. And I wish I could say we owned them, but we don't, but we're working towards that. I would rather be a homeowner where I have full control over being able to say what I want to do in those properties. But right now we're renting, and we've been able to find some amazing, property owners who understand our mission and are willing to be supportive. So in each of these houses, we're able to get up to 14 young adults, 18 to 25 again, into these houses. So one, they learn relationship building. They learn that they must exist in a space, but that space is a safe space because we actually have staff that are on site. So we have a case manager. That case manager will meet with every single one of those residents in the program every week, right? And in that, they will discuss what their mental health situation may be, if they're employed. If you are employed, what do your savings look like? One of the things that we require is that while you're in our 90-day housing program, you must be in school or you must be employed. And we will help you with all of that. So if you say, for example, that you did not graduate from high school, we'll help you get your GED.
That's awesome.
And we'll cover whatever those fees. We'll make sure you have transportation. You are able to get, to that site, or it's online. We'll provide you with a laptop so that you can do those studies.
Setting
right?
up that future.
Exactly. We're helping you build to a positive future, right? Then also employment will help you with resume writing. We'll do mock interviews. If you are unsuccessful with landing employment on your own, well, voila, here's the thrift store. The thrift store that we established, we own, we manage, right? So we know that you're going to come in, you're going to be working with people, individuals that are like you, who appreciate you, respect you, understand you, mentor you. And so when you're in the thrift store, you can learn about retail. So you can learn customer service, again, engagement. You can learn, financial responsibility. You can become a cashier. You can understand merchandising and how to properly display or make things more attractive for sale, right? So there are actually things that you can develop. And maybe when you leave our employment, you leave our program, maybe you'll want to go on to another retail establishment, and then you'll have something in your resume that said, hey, I worked here and I was in retail and these are my responsibilities, right?
Experience out of the way.
Exactly. So now we've helped you build a work history.
That's awesome.
So it just we are an organization that keeps trying to help you move forward. So, so when you're in the 90-day housing program, it's one of 2 properties that we have right now. We're working on a third, and that third is actually going to be not a 90-day housing program, but it's going to be what we call a bridge program. And that bridge program is going to be for those adults, young adults, 18 to 25, who aren't quite ready to leave the 90-day program because financially they've not been able to contribute to a savings that will allow them to apply a deposit, say, for a rental or to establish themselves more permanently going forward. So the last thing we want to do is have them digging into their savings and then find themselves back on the street again. So what we decide is that this next model that we're creating, the bridge program, will give them an opportunity to still be in a program, but low barrier, low supervision. And it's going to be a house where they'll have their own room. They won't have a roommate. They'll have their own room, and there'll be common space. You can move in for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, but you're going to sign a program agreement. And with that, there will be some conditions. There'll be some rules, house rules, no guests, things like that. We want you to focus on you, your well-being and your success. Those are our asks. So that third house is what we're in. It's in progress right now. So
Current plan.
yes, it's the current plan.
I mean, chat, it sounds like this. I mean, our charity here at FWA is just doing insane work for the LGBTQIA plus community. And, what would you say, in your words, would sets aside your charity as compared to some others in the same space? What is the unique thing that yours brings?
Well, funny enough, but we are the only organization like us. There isn't anybody else that matches to what we're doing. And I'm not saying that to be, callous or anything. I'm just saying is that there are many organizations and we partner with these organizations. We love the relationship that we have, but we are literally the A to Z.
Right.
We are able to, if we do not provide it ourselves based on our resources internally, then we have amazing partnerships with other organizations where we do referrals. So we have that contact, that relationship. We actually are a 7-day, 24/7 organization. So in our houses, we're providing services 24 hours. Our thrift store is open 7 days a week.
Oh, wow.
Our donation center, we accept donations 7 days a week. Our store is open from 10 until 6, like Monday through Saturday. And on Sunday, we're open from 10 until 4. In that time frame, the drop-in center is open. Most organizations are only open Monday through Friday. So basically, if you are a youth in need, hope you get that done on Monday through Friday. If not, come see us, right? So the other thing is that not everybody provides emergency housing. You have shelters. Right. Shelters, which are wonderful in a pinch, but they're not offering a line of services or programs which are trying to enhance your well-being. So a shelter is basically a big building. You wait in line. You have to be there at 4:30, 5 o'clock. If there's a bed for you, it's a cot and a blanket and a meal most times, right? But at 5:30 in the morning, they're already rattling that cot and you're going to get up and you're going to be walking out that door. No guarantee that you'll have that cot again. No guarantee that you will have an experience like the day that you arrived there. At least with our organization, it's more predictable because we like to have consistency. So we know that the house is open at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So from 4 until midnight, you're working with a program associate. And then from midnight until 8 a.m., you're with another program associate while you're sleeping. The house is guarded. And when I say guarded, I just meant to prevent anybody from coming in unwanted so we can continue to say that you're in a safe space, right?
That's amazing.
So, and again, this is a voluntary program. It's not like once you're in, you're locked in. This is not a jail. We are an organization that believes in, everybody is individual. We want you to be your authentic self. And our mission is just to make certain that when you leave our program, that you continue to be successful. So overall, I think we're doing much more than most of the other organizations out there. Plus, we're LGBTQ, plus, and a lot of the shelters. Just for example, if you're a trans individual, I hate to say it, but what's going to happen is you are not going to be in a space where you want to be.
No.
So, and there's a lot of lack of supervision. A lot of negativity happens in those shelter types of environments because the number of people that are in there. Yeah. And there's nothing that says there's been any type of background check, or you don't know where those individuals came from. You just know they're desperate and they're in need and they need a place to stay. So there's no filtering that's going on. That's something that we do so we can say that we have that safe space.
It's amazing.
So we do stand out from everybody else.
Well, speaking of that, standing out from everyone else and being wonderful support in the community, what are we're coming to you live, obviously, and we have our chat here, and some of them might be local to the area or being able to send stuff in. What are some things you're looking for aside from just monetary donations that people can do to support your organization? Is there volunteering opportunities? Is there
Yes.
items that you are always looking to have donated?
Mhm.
Is there furniture that needs to be donated? What kind of stuff is that to support the site? How can people others support if they might not have the financial means to monetarily donate?
Great question. So in our thrift store, as I mentioned, we accept donations 7 days a week. So imagine 12,000 square feet of space. About 9,000 of that is dedicated just to the thrift store. So we have furniture, we have clothing, housewares, electronics. Furniture is pretty amazing, actually. Right now we have a table that's recently been donated. It's $9,000 if you look at it online. And we're sitting there saying, somebody, please come by this table. But it's, it's just, it's funny when donations come in the back door, we're immediately trying to assess, the cost of those. Well, we're only a team of like 4 people in the back of the store. So we can always use volunteers to help us in sorting out the clothing. And with some simple instruction, it's a very simple task. But, you're standing all day long and you're sorting and hanging and tagging. And so we can always use help in the thrift store. Going through, glass items and electronics and testing, always could use some help there. But volunteerism is more than just being in the thrift store. It's more than, saying that, let's just use an example. Our youth are always in need of a great meal. So our drop-in center serves a lunch every single day. So people could consider, having a meal delivered, a Jimmy John's or, a pasta or a taco lunch or anything like that. But our drop-in center needs a meal every single day. So that's one option if you would be interested in doing that. A home-cooked meal is always wonderful. But also street outreach. Street outreach is another volunteer opportunity. And then advocacy. If you're out in the streets and you go to a restaurant, mention lost and found youth. Some of these restaurants in the city do dine-outs where they may dedicate a particular day. And that day, they'll do like 10% of their proceeds in their sales that day.
Wow.
So then that restaurant is actually making the donation, but it was your word of mouth because you're sharing about our mission that's very helpful. So volunteerism is incredible. You can sign up for volunteering on our website. You go out under ways that you can donate. There is a link to sign up for volunteers. Every Wednesday, we have one of our staff members who holds a virtual orientation at 6 p.m. So with that, he'll send out an invite based on your signing up, and then you sit through the 6 p.m. He'll give you the A to Z about what you need to know about volunteering, forms, and all the good stuff, and that gets you started.
Well, and you mentioned your website. So what is the website? And do you have social medias that chat and the folks watching can follow you at?
So we have our website is www.lnfy.org. And when you go up to that website, you'll see various opportunities for engagement. Donations, obviously, are something that we're very interested in. We always need more cards because that's how the youth get around the city. But Kroger cards are a way also when you volunteer or on that website. Take an interest in that because that helps provide fresh produce and dairy and so forth to the houses.
Absolutely.
Overall, I'd say the best thing to do is visit lnfy.org, and it's a wealth of information about how you can be connected with our organization.
Awesome. Well, it looks like we're down to around last 5 minutes here, but I did want to ask you one final question here. Seeing as you've been our charity for a couple of years now, what is your favorite part of FWA?
Oh my God. The favorite part,
Or what is an
every year it
awesome
changes.
thing?
Every year it changes. I would
Go back to that.
mind.
Oh no.
Ran out of battery.
Guess what? Well, again, more proving that we are doing this live FWA TV, and we love the live production value. Also, chat. Let me check if we had anything come in through the chat. Well, we get Elena's Mike. swapped out. Nothing in the chat so far, but there we go. All right. Well, we made it happen. All right. Should be good. And you can just hold that up perfect like that. Nope, we won't hear it.
We're live yet.
We are still live. We're doing this live. But is
My favorite thing about the con
favorite
is,
thing about FWA or a wonderful story about it?
well, I'll tell you, I get to cover a lot of landscape here. It is from building to building. Each year has been different. Each year brings kind of a memorable situation. This year, in particular, I recently had gotten on one of the shuttles, and I want to say thank you, because with the expansion of the con, having that shuttle has saved my legs.
It is a
Oh my
godsend.
gosh. Stand out there and to be able to ride, around to each of the drop-off spots. You get to meet more people while you're on that. My first encounter actually getting on that shuttle, I was with one of the board members and one of my staff members. It was Hex and Jennifer. And we got on and we're dragging bags because we're headed over to the vendor hall.
Oh, yeah, you got
right? Because we've got a table over there and we've got to get set up and we're just like driving over. And the gentleman that was driving the bus, he looked up at me as I was walking on and he said, "I know you." And I looked at him and I was like, "You do?" And he's like, "Yes, I know you." He says, "I used to stay in one of your houses." And he was pointing at my t-shirt, Lost and Found Youth t-shirt. He says, "I was staying at one of your houses over on Lucille Avenue." And it was like, oh my gosh, I do recognize you from 8 years ago, right?
Oh.
So this person had left Atlanta, had gone to North Carolina, and from North Carolina gone to New York. In New York, they were in a relationship and they were struggling with coming back to Atlanta. Ultimately, they came back to Atlanta, got their CDL. They're now driving from MARTA. They're on this bus, system, cycling around. And as I'm having this conversation, he looks at me and he just says, "I wouldn't be here today if it hadn't been for you." That just about took me down to like my knees. It was just the most wonderful thing that you could ever hear from somebody, is that our organization was able to help them. They remembered us. They were thankful. And they were so incredibly just blessed to be, connected and to be here today. That's not the first time we've encountered those kinds of stories. There's actually one of our FWA staff members who has also been a previous client of Lost and Found Youth. And I had an opportunity to have a conversation with him not long ago, and we are going to re-engage. So here we have another success story. So these are some of the most memorable experiences that I have had. Not only just the engagement, the friendliness, we feel like we belong here. We're family.
Your family.
Yeah. So
it's so great to hear that success story.
yeah, it's definitely a memorable one.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on FWA TV. You truly are making a difference.
Thank you.
And again, make sure you go and check out the Lost and Found Youth on
Thrift store on Chantilly Drive.
There you
Please.
go.
Thank you.
And-
And thank you for having me today. I really enjoyed the time. Thank you.
All right, FWA TV, you heard it here. You see our amazing charity. Stay tuned for all the wonderful events we have going on. We should be going live here in a sec to an event in the atrium. So please tune in for that. And I will see you all on the next one.
Delayed. Please stall more.
Please. I was told a time, and now they told me it's not a time. Well, I guess we have some more time to talk over here with you if you have time.
Come see us over in the vendor hall.
Oh,
So-
yeah, let's see about that.
yes.
Where's your vendor hall booth?
So in the vendor hall, we're right next to the vendor registration table. And in between, well, I can't think of what they're doing, but there's just, so many people over there. But we're kind of on the inside. We're on the inside wall. And over there, you can come by, and obviously we've got a little bit of swag on the table. We have T-shirts. It's not quite blingy like mine because this was a special edition. This was like the show off for the CEO. But we have some T-shirts, and I have to show you. If you want to hold the mic, I want to show you the back of this T-shirt.
Oh, yes, please. I mean, the bling is already so good.
But there's a message on the back, right?
I am helping end homelessness for Atlanta's LGBTQ plus youth. I love that. LNFY.
Yes. So come get a T-shirt. Come see us. Visit. We're going to be there until closing at 6 p.m. We're also over in the registration hall to get everybody as they walk through the door, for the first time while they're here at the con. So again, we absolutely love being here. It is, it's a blessing and just something that we look forward to every year. So thank you again.
And again, remember, any of the charitable events here at FWA will be directly donating to the Lost and Found Youth of Atlanta. And so just make sure you attend any of those events. I believe there's potentially a charity auction and a few other things going on. Yes. So remember to go to app.furryweekend and make sure that you get our schedule app to see exactly when all those charitable events are and pop in if you're tuning in from the convention. Otherwise, stay tuned here on FWA TV. I think we're going to let it go here as we have exhausted our questions and answers. But we'll catch you on the next one, FWA TV.